Hello, this is Valerie Aiello, and you're listening to IdeaDiary. Thanks for coming back to my office and hanging out. All right, so I had some sort of weird thing happen to me. I've been meaning to talk about it, but I keep forgetting to put it in. So I'm going to say it in the beginning so I know, okay, I've said that. So a couple shows back, I was talking about I was having this problem with somebody and I was mad at them, and it was somebody that I'm usually never mad at, but I was like kind of had this like list of 10 things that were just like bugging me, and I didn't necessarily know the right way to approach the situation. You know, it's somebody that if you don't normally have problems with them and there's like these things kind of bubbling up, it feels like something you want to address, but it also feels weird because it's not like something regular. You know something's wrong, but you don't know what it is, and you don't even know how to solve it or what the problem is. Like, there's just all these unknowns. So instead of kind of going to that person and having a conversation and possibly saying the wrong thing or, whatever, the several things that could go wrong, I decided just to make a list of 10 things that were really bothering me, or just kind of like journal it during my morning meditation type of things, where I'm kind of doing, a morning journal. Just in general, how that's helping me, but in this specific problem, in this specific example, it's just one example that I'm getting of how things are changing. Doing the morning pages, meditation things daily. It's just small things that are changing, but there's some energy that's happening, and I can't really explain it yet. So I'm hoping after 6 months of committed daily meditation and adding the morning pages into my existence, and the morning pages, I do it how you're supposed to do it, which Julia Cameron, she wrote The Artist's Way, and I had never read that book before, which was kind of weird because it just seems like right up my alley as a creative professional. And anyways, she has this thing called morning pages, and I included that into my life, and that came into my realm of existence, or into my lexicon, after I started doing morning meditations. And I will say within the first month, definitely within the second month of doing it, there was definitely proof of things were changing, and I wasn't necessarily doing it, if that makes any sense. It was just kind of naturally things were going my way, and things were not manifesting, but I could just see when you can tell the tides are turning in your direction. It's kind of that feeling that something's coming, something's happening, and it's all going to be good, and it's all in your favor. That kind of feeling definitely was happening and is still happening. But for one example so I was having this problem, which I don't normally have, and it's not the biggest deal in the world, but it was starting to concern me. So I was mad at this person, and I wrote these 10 things that were just really eating me up, and I didn't really know how to solve the problem or approach it or whatever. And so I wrote down what was bothering me, and then I just kind of maybe wrote it a couple times for a couple mornings, and then I just kind of waited for the problem to solve itself. I didn't know that that's what I was doing at the time, but now I do kind of know that's probably what I was doing. But all I did was focus on the result of what I wanted. So I kind of like got all the bad ideas out of my head, and then I just kind of thought, okay, the solutions of how to solve that problem and what I wanted, and I just kind of focused on that. And then I kind of did nothing. I didn't address any issues. I didn't have like a phone conversation. I didn't do anything. I didn't try to think of new ways to solve my problems. I just in the back of my head, I just thought, okay, this is what I want out of this situation. And I didn't think about how that could happen. I was just thinking about solutions. Anyway, it just took about a week, maybe, after kind of going through the motions of writing down how I felt and really pinpointing what was bothering me and writing that down, and then kind of thinking, okay, what do I really want? What's the solution here for me? And that's all I did. And then it was like a week later, that person ended up calling me and having like this totally other random problem that had nothing to do with anything. And within the problems that the other person was happening, I was able to kind of insert in that conversation, well, I've noticed this and I've noticed this and you've been doing this and that. And I didn't even have to make it about me. I know it feels like I'm talking about something like I'm going all the way around, but I'm trying not to like make it too personal. I'm trying to make it kind of in general. So maybe you can relate to this or it can apply to you. All my issues ended up being addressed with that person without it being about me. I guess because it was coming from a different angle. They kind of agreed with me on all my points. And it was like I had this weird positive business conversation with somebody that I was having problems with. And it was like all those problems were solved without me having to do anything. So whatever that means, I definitely felt like it had something to do with the subconscious mind. Maybe it was magic. I have no idea. But I'm going to try to have that same approach on another issue that I might come across. I don't have many issues, but, things come up. So if I do have another problem, I'm going to try that same procedure, which is one, list out all the things that I'm mad about, upset about, not enjoying, or, whatever it is. Then I'm going to list out all the real thing that I really want to happen, which is sometimes not even what you think you want. Sometimes it's even more simple than that. And just focus on the positive thing. And then just wait a minute, take a breath. I know a lot of people have problems and they need to solve them immediately instead of like stepping back and trying to have like perspective and not deal something in a hot-headed situation, So I don't really know what to call that. I'm thinking of it as like a problem meditation solution type of thing, but it was just something that I wanted to share. And I really feel like it has to do with the morning pages thing and really having that extreme me time where I'm focusing on myself and it's bringing in, it's focusing on the things that I really want and it's bringing them just into my life. So whatever y'all think about that, I don't know. It's just something interesting that I wanted to chat about. Another thing that I've been thinking about is idea confidence. I think that a lot of people get thrown off their game. They might have a great idea. They might just not know how to communicate that idea well, or it's a great idea. It's just a 10-year-long idea that takes a lot of trial and error to figure out how to make that idea happen. But sometimes when you fall in love with an idea and it just never goes away and it's something maybe you think about, maybe you've had it when you're 18 and it's like, oh, I've always thought about that idea. That's never kind of left my brain. Maybe it's just idea confidence that you might be lacking. Maybe you told someone about that idea and they thought it was horrible. Or you tried that idea once and it didn't work. So you think, well, that idea sucked. Why would I ever try it again? Maybe it's not leaving your mind because you lack some idea confidence. So it was just 2 words that came together on the page that I just really liked the idea of it, and it felt like a powerful thing. Felt almost like a book title or something. Idea confidence. And I just wanted to mention that if you have an idea that you tried and failed, but it still hasn't left your heart, maybe there's some way to try it again. And maybe nothing has to take a ton of risk, and nothing has to take a ton of money. There's usually always some way to try something without losing a bunch of money or looking for investors, or there's always the cheap way to try something. Or maybe you just never had the confidence to actually try it, but it's never left your brain. Talk to people about it. See, maybe a lot of people think it's stupid, but maybe there's somebody that doesn't, and maybe they'll give you confidence to go for it. I think a lot of people are afraid to share their ideas because they think they're going to get stolen. And I've personally had a lot of ideas stolen, but I think that happens whether you keep it close or you just talk about it. I've seen a lot of super successful people say, like, no one's going to steal your idea. And someone can steal your idea, but they're never going to do it quite like you can do it. So it doesn't really matter, stolen ideas or not. I always talk about when you have done a bunch of work to make a really high quality product, I think building a second brand that's the cheaper version of that, so you are kind of your own competitor, is always a good idea. I mean, it seems like a crazy idea and maybe a waste of money, but when good ideas happen, I think that they always get copied. So I think it's almost an achievement if you get copied. It's almost like just a part of having great ideas. So I wouldn't worry about being copied. I think it's just the way that it works sometimes. There's always been this one story, and I don't know if it's true. I guess I heard a YouTube video of someone talking about it. But there is a story of Michael Jackson writing songs all night long, and in the middle of the night, he wrote this song. I don't know if it was Billie Jean, or I can't remember what the song was, but it was like kind of in that time frame, I believe. But he called his lawyer in the middle of the night to send him the song and make his lawyer go and file it and copyright it professionally. Whatever you create is already copywritten. You don't have to do anything. If you write a story, if you write a song, if you do anything, if you publish it somewhere, it's copywritten. It's automatically safe, but you can take an extra step and legally archive it in the Copyright Library of Congress, and I think that's $35. And I'm sure there's even like a next level if you're a lawyer, you know how to extra seal the deal on copywriting stuff. But Michael Jackson called his lawyer in the middle of the night, and his lawyer was like, "What are you talking about? I'll get right on that in the morning." And Michael Jackson was adamant that he had to wake up right then and do it, because if he waited until the morning, Prince would have the same song idea and would release the same song, and it would be gone. So, or at least the song wouldn't be gone, is that Prince would make it a hit first, and Michael Jackson wanted to be the first to have the hit. So there's something that I've always known with ideas, that if you have an idea, there's somebody else that has the same exact idea. Could be on the other side of the world, could be in your neighborhood. But ideas, even though they're super unique, there's always one person that takes it to the next level, and they win, and they get to be the one to publish that idea, or they get to be the one to benefit from it all. I think we've all had ideas where then you think, oh, I want to be the guy to do that. And then 10 years later, you see your idea on TV because somebody did it. So anyway, just have idea confidence. I think just going for it, silly or not, crazy or not, you don't have to waste money with any idea. There's always some way to figure it out. But that's the show for today. So I still don't know how to end the show, so I'm just going to play the music.